Yeah, I got the juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco.
Get yourself together, Amber. He doesn't even deserve your love. I would never thought that he would cheat on me like that. I love him so much. I left my parents for him and he left me for his fling. You sighed and comfort your friend who just had break a few hours ago when she found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her all this time and now he doesn't want to live with her. She's continuously crying since then and you came here with her to lighten her mood. How I'm gonna live without him, Vayan? I never imagined my life without him, she said, crying terribly. Don't break yourself just because of that asshole. He will definitely gonna regret later. Don't cry. She hugged you. Jungkook's POV. I came at the club to ease my horrible mood because if I stayed with my family a little more, I would have done something horrible, which I do still wants to, but I don't want to be called a monster. Even though I don't care about them. I don't really have any interest in any other people here, especially those strippers who try to seduce me, but not anymore when one glare from me is enough for them to mind their own business and stay away from me. I don't find any interest in them and not in women as whole. But there's this girl I'm looking at since she came in the club with her friend. She's comforting the one who is crying since ever, and the way that girl is comforting her, I can see the innocence and kindness in her eyes. She grabbed my attention like a magnet and I can't help but to look at her. I took out my phone and clicked their photo by zooming in the camera. I found her taking a look at my side and I felt something inside me. I just wants to know what is special in her that I'm getting attracted to her, which is so unusual. I got a call from Yoongi Hyung, which means I have to leave. I took a last glance at her before leaving, but that's not enough. Soon she'll going to be with me. This thing just came in my mind and there's no way I'm gonna leave her. That old hack is plotting against you with all those so-called family members of yours. If you don't get married and get a heir, you lose the gang. Jungkook chuckled and leaned back on the couch. After killing my dad, they really think I'll go easy on them. I'll make each of them to shed tears of blood. What are you waiting for? Jungkook looked at him. Hyung, I have a favor to ask you. Yoongi narrowed his eyes and looked at Jungkook. What is it? Jungkook showed him the picture of yours. Find out about this girl. Yoongi raised his eyes and looked at him. Who is she? You'll get to know. You quickly wiped the table and arranged everything on its place. Ajumma, I'm leaving now. You said taking off your apron. Why and wait? You turned at her as she came near you. Yes, here, your monthly allowance. She said, extending an envelope towards you as you smiled and took it from her hand. Thank you, Ajumma. She smiled and patted your head. You bowed at her and left for another part-time. Finally, you got time to go to your house after a whole day of doing part-time jobs. You sighed and looked down from the bridge. Your life has become a mess after your mother diagnosed with cancer. Although she's your former parents and don't really love you like a child, but you still feel grateful of them for raising you. You have to left your studies in middle as they didn't have money to pay for your expenses, and now you do different part-time jobs to pay for your mother's hospital bills. You stay there closing your eyes, feeling the cold breeze. It is the only place who doesn't disturb your mental health. You got a call from your father as you opened it and ran to catch the metro. You came at the hospital running as your father told you to come. You thought something happened to your mom, but when you finally came, you saw your father standing near your mother's bed, and there was one more person with him. He was in tuxedo and looking like someone from a very rich family. Your father noticed you as he called you while you walked near him. You were so confused about what's happening, and finally you were able to see the face of that guy who passed you a warm smile. You gave him a confused look and then looked at your dad and mom. Is everything okay, Mom? Dad, why did you call me? Your dad looked at the man and then again at you. Ryan, your mom needs a surgery, and doctor said that there's a chances that she can survive for a few years after the surgery. That's a very good news. We should do it. He said, making you more confused. It's not easy, Ryan. We're gonna need a lot of money and it's out of our reach. You knew saying the truth, but you don't want to give up. It's okay, Dad. I'll arrange the money. I'll do everything that I can. It's not about few dollars, Ryan. We won't be able to arrange it in this life. Dad, I'll do everything. He shook his head. That's why I told you to consider my offer. The man finally spoke, making you look at him confused. Your dad looked down and then at your mother. You were so confused with their reactions. What offer are you talking about? He smiled at you but didn't say anything. You looked at your dad. Dad, I have an offer for you all. I'm gonna pay you all the money you needed for her operation. You looked at Jungkook, frowning your brows. Why you will pay? Do we even know you? He smiled again. Why and your mom will gonna live for few more years. You looked at Jungkook again. But what if we don't able to pay you back? He chuckled. I don't want the money back. His words left you puzzled. Don't want it back? Then what do you want? I don't think you'll help us for no reason. He nodded and walked a little closer to you. You're right, I'm not doing it for free. I know that there's no such price for a graceful woman like you, but if you're willing to help your parents, you can sacrifice yourself and go with me. You instantly felt anger rushing inside you. What kind of a man you are? His smile didn't left his face. He looked at your mother and dad, and their faces were down as if they have already decided it, and they're expecting a help from you. Dad, will you guys don't mind it if I agree for this? You thought that they would deny and tell you that they don't value money which cost their daughter in return, but nothing like that happened. They have hopes in their eyes that made you swallow. You got to know that they won't mind selling you for money. You turned towards Jungkook. What you decided? If that can give life to my mother, I'm ready to do anything. You said, bringing tears in your eyes while Jungkook smiled. Thank you, Ryan. Your tears dropped. You came with Jungkook in his house. It was in a very silent place that made you a little scared. Except bodyguards and few mates, you don't find anyone else. He didn't utter a word during the whole time. He straight went upstairs, leaving you alone in the living room, which left you confused. You looked around and there was no one. Soon a maid came to you and she smiled a little. Let's go, I'll show you your room. My room? She nodded. Yes, everything is already prepared. She walked ahead while you followed her, wondering what's happening. Maid called you downstairs for dinner. That is when you saw Jungkook after a whole day. He ignored you like you don't exist in this house. You were standing there simply because you didn't know whether to sit beside him or he brought you here as a servant. But by looking at the way he decorated your room, it looks like he has some other plans. Why are you standing there? Please sit. You hesitantly walked near the dining table and pulled out a chair. Jungkook still didn't look at you and it itself making you nervous. The maid served you food and you both ate in silence. I won't be here tonight, Mrs. Han. Take care of things here. The maid whose name now you know bowed and nodded. You were looking at him the whole time expecting few words from him, but he got up and left, leaving you disappointed again. You sighed while Mrs. Han came to you. I know all this is so new to you, right? Ma'am, do you know why he brought me here? You know that he has paid a lot of money to my parents in return of me. She smiled and patted your head. I don't really know about all this, but he has been preparing for your welcome for few days. And you don't have to worry because Jungkook is really a very good guy. Maybe he likes you and that's why he brought you here, because before this, he never ever talked about any girl or brought any woman at home. I don't even know him and why he's ignoring me now. I think he's hesitating or maybe something else, but believe me, once he will be comfortable, you'll get to see the wonderful side of him. He's really a very nice guy. You didn't say anything further. You came downstairs in the living room because you were not getting sleep in your room. It always happens with you when you come at an unfamiliar place. Soon you fell asleep while watching TV. It was past midnight and the only thing that could be here is the sound of movie you were watching. Jungkook came inside the house and he was looking mad in anger. He was going towards his room but then stopped when his eyes fell on you, who was sleeping on the couch. He stood there for a few minutes looking at you and it's like all his anger calmed down and all he could think is only about you. He slowly walked near you and stood in front of you. He admired you for a good minute but then switched off the TV and about to carry you to your room. But as he hovered a little, you opened your eyes, sending chills inside him. He felt his body froze in its place. You both were looking in each other's eyes without blinking. He was about to straight up but you grabbed his collar and pulled him towards you, but still there was a good distance between both of you. You also didn't knew from where did you got this much courage, but this time you really need to talk to him. Really wanted to know why he brought you here and why acting like this. You still in sleep? His voice was low and husky. Why you brought me here? What do you want from me and why did you approach my parents for help? Because I wanted something they have but don't value. You swallowed but didn't break the eye contact. Why you care about such things? There's millions of people like me. Why did you brought me only? This time a slight smile covered his lips but soon vanished. Fortunately, you're the only one who caught my attention. He removed your hands from his collar and turned to move but stopped when you said something he never thought you would. Is it because you like me? He didn't turn while you got up and walked behind him. The way you are behaving, it doesn't look like you wanna make me your slave or anything. So I guess you wanna keep me here with you. That is why you did all this. Jungkook turned back at you and this time you felt so nervous when you looked at his smirking face. He changed in a blink of an eye. You're more than I thought, and now that you already know everything by yourself, I'm feeling relieved. Is this how you think you can get someone's love? He shook his head, still smiling. That is why I was quiet. I wanted to listen this from you. He started to walk closer to you while you stepped back until there was no more space and you dropped on the couch. I love how simple and understanding you are. No wonder why you attracted me at first sight. He straightened up and smiled at you before walking upstairs. Anyang, you flinched a little and turned back to see a guy with long hair smiling at you. He walked near you. I know you are wondering who am I, but I'm the one who found out about you. Basically, your secret fan. He said with a chuckle. Are you expecting a thanks from me? He laughed a little. Not bad. You are so transparent. Now I realize why Jungkook is obsessed with you. You raised your eyebrow. You are the mastermind behind it, right? He again laughed. I just do what ordered. And I didn't order you to talk to her without my permission. You both looked in the direction from where Jungkook was coming. I've never seen you getting along with people much, but looks like you're already comfortable, he said, standing beside you while Yoongi smiled. Don't be jealous, I was just trying to introduce myself. Jungkook looked at you. I'm sorry if he made you uncomfortable. Yoongi looked at him stunned while you smiled and turned towards him. There's nothing to be sorry for. I'm happy you have cheerful people in your life. At least they are more better. Yoongi chuckled internally while Jungkook poked his inner cheek. You think I'm not good enough? You shrugged your shoulder. I say what I see. Yoongi laughed a little but instantly stopped when Jungkook glared. Then get yourself ready, he said with a smirk while you felt goosebumps. Days started to pass and you started feeling comfortable in this house. You also got to know that your parents are living happily. This made you happy but a little sad too that they don't care about you. You and Jungkook both came closer. In fact, you both already confessed your feelings and were happy to be together. Sometimes you feel like he's hiding something from you, something that broke him so badly and made him lose his temper, but you always try to comfort him, and that's the most lovable thing about you that Jungkook couldn't help but to fall for you harder and harder. You have become everything to him. Jungkook rushed inside the house. He searched you everywhere but didn't find you. The fear was clearly visible on his face, as if he knew what's coming. Mrs. Han was missing from the house too. Suddenly his phone started to ring. He quickly answered it and put it against his ear when someone laughed from the other side like a psycho. He remained silent, although his hands and jaws clenched up hearing the voice. He said while trying to touch your face, but you turned your face to the other side. You wanted to scream and talk to Jungkook, but your mouth was tied with a cloth. Seriously, Jungkook, you always get things which are hard to resist. First the gang and now this beauty. You need to sacrifice at least one of them, or maybe both. He ended the call with a smirk and looked at you. He's soon going to lose everything from his hands. What would you do with him then? It's better if you stay with me. I'll give you the world if you want. You were looking at him with red eyes while he chuckled and untied the clothes from your mouth. I've seen a lot of fools like you who think themselves all high, but their end is so horrible. And same thing will going to happen to you too, so be ready for that. Really? Oops, I got goosebumps. He started to laugh like a psycho. There is no end of me. You think I'm doing all this for nothing? Let me tell you a story then. He finally took out the lollipop from his mouth and extended towards you. But before that, do you wanna eat something sweet? Do he really likes you or he just grabbed you to get a hair so that he can completely take over the game? You looked a little confused, but you knew that you don't have to listen to any of his words. Whatever it is, he has to die anyways. Suddenly a smirk appeared on his face as he again came closer to you, kneeling down, and you could feel his breath hitting your neck. You tried to turn your face to the other side, but he grabbed your mouth harshly and made you look at him. After his death, you're going to be mine forever. Stop dreaming with your open eyes. It's not him, but you're going to be disappear from this world soon. He chuckled. I have thousands of people to protect me, but him? He's the only one left in this world. In fact, his own mother is after him. She just wants her younger son, that is me, to be the owner of everything she deserves. Finally, he started to reveal everything while you were listening him attentively. His whole family was killed long ago, and now it's his turn. What can be expected from a monster like you who is after his own brother's life? He looked at you. He's not my brother. We are different blood. He can never be me. My father is still alive and ready to end his enemy's son. That's when you realize what Jungkook's real mother is. Daniel started to speak about everything one by one, and from him you got to know that after Jungkook's father's side family's death, the gang took over by his mother's side family. She married to another mafia and had Daniel. She hates Jungkook just like she do to his father, and she don't mind killing him to get her second son, the position of the mafia boss. Jungkook already knows everything and maybe that's why he always stay in that horrible mood. He's a mafia no doubt, but after living with him you realize how soft and kind-hearted he is. He's only bad for his enemies. He's like an angel who care about people, but because he has a label of mafia, people usually misunderstand him. He's running so many charity and NGOs for helpless and poor children and old people as well. You saw Jungkook standing there holding a gun in his hands. He was looking so scary and burning in anger. He hovered above Daniel and started to punch him. He brutally wounded his face as it was so hard to see his features with all that blood. Yoongi also came by that time as he quickly untied you. Are you okay? You nodded, then looked at Jungkook. Please stop him. Yoongi tried to stop Jungkook, but it was of no use. He was not ready to stop until he finally killed him. It was also traumatizing for you to witness all this in front of your eyes. Daniel died and all those people from his family hostage by Jungkook. He didn't kill them, but he wanted to make them experience more horrible death than they gave to his dad and their family. You came inside Jungkook's room and saw him standing near the window looking towards the sky. You put your hand on his shoulder as he slowly turned back. Let's go eat something.